The very first brewery to open in the state of Illinois did so in 1765, which is a pretty neat trick when you consider Illinois wasn't a state until December of 1888. So yeah, there have been great breweries in this state for a while now. They know what they're doing. You're gonna find out about 3 great Illinois breweries we can't wait to share with you. Once again, we are beer drinking in the land of Lincoln on this episode of Brewed. We're in Peoria at the Bearded Owl Brewing. What neighborhood is this, Nick? Where are we at? Well, like what part of Peoria?
Warehouse District.
The Warehouse District. I was gonna say take a left turn at the Richard Pryor statue. Is that what most people do, or?
That certainly is one way, yes.
You'll find it. This is a cool part of town. Is this, I haven't been to Peoria in a while. This Warehouse District, this is happening.
Yeah, it's starting to. It's been a long time coming. The city's putting a lot of effort into the area down here, and it's starting to expand a little bit west of us, even south and west of us. So yeah, we like it down here. We like the people down here, and it's a great place to be.
I mean, it probably doesn't suck to have, obviously this place is a draw, but then for there to be other things to do, right? People are looking for an evening, so They spend a couple hours here, they can go do one or two other things.
That's the whole point.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's get into the Bearded Owl, and I gotta say, what I love the most about craft beer, of course, beer's delicious, but it's the stories. That's what this show is about, is stories. And Nick is a guy with no shortage of stories. Explain to me, there's a girl who gets abducted by magical forces in a sunflower field and an owl in the middle of the night that almost killed you and your son? I mean, when you go to the website, it is a Stephen King worthy tale.
It is, and yeah, you had to bring that one up. I should have been prepared for that one. I have a friend who's an inspiring writer, so he embellished a little bit on
Okay, so that wasn't true, all 100% true.
It's not 100% true,
okay.
But yeah, we definitely love the story he put together for us, and
it's a good story,
it's definitely a conversation piece.
It definitely is, and the story is that you and your son are out walking. He's a younger boy.
Yep, back then, yep.
And you come across this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, abandoned barn.
It's a barn. And you decide to explore, and the entire time your son is saying, "No, Dad, don't do this. I'm begging you, Dad, don't do this." But you're called by something, and that something is a big, giant, bearded owl.
A big owl, yeah, I don't know if it was a bearded owl. A bearded owl is actually native to Mexico, which doesn't make any sense for who we are, but it was a big owl.
Wait a minute. I never put that together. Yeah. You're right, bearded owls aren't in this part of Illinois, or even in the Midwest.
But it was definitely a big barn owl, probably, and gave us a scare.
So you went into an old barn, and there was an owl. That part of the story is absolutely true.
Yes.
The details that are told of the story, like all good stories, a little bit of embellishment is needed to make it an even better tale.
There are real people mentioned in the story, and there's also not real people mentioned in the story too. So yeah.
So the Ellie Hipkins or whatever, is that a real story? Do people know who that is here?
Part of the embellishment.
Okay, yes. So that's not a real story. Because in the story, there's a girl who is last seen like murmuring to herself in the sunflower fields, and then she disappeared, and now they say her spirit haunts these lands this very day. But now I'm finding out that maybe not the case.
Well, I don't think so. Yeah,
okay.
We do like our stories, though. We definitely pay attention to both real and non-real stories when we're making a lot of the beers and picking beer names and stuff like that. So we like the whimsical aspect of and the creative aspect of what this business can provide. So yeah, there's definitely an aspect of fantasy, I guess, with some of this stuff, but it's all in good fun.
I mean, owls have been inspiring stories since cavemen.
You got to have some kind of mythology, right? Like Zeppelin or whatever, right?
Right.
Got to leave some questions out there for people to try to figure out on their own. So
the vibe in here is very cool. You've got this wood decor happening, and I want to know more about like where you got all of this stuff. There's also owls and kind of some spooky stuff going on. Not like too spooky, but just spooky enough. That's intentional.
Yes, we definitely create. It's an intentional vibe we've created in here. We did things on purpose, and that we wanted it to be rustic. We wanted the natural wood. We wanted the campfire up there. The owl. Try to create. I guess part of our brand. We wanted to flesh that out in the tap room here.
I could spend hours just looking at this beautiful mural you have of the owl eyes in the trees. Like, that's gorgeous. The beers here are handcrafted. That's something I know you guys take a lot of pride in.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest system. That's quite on purpose.
It is and it isn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. We would like to expand our capacity. We're at that point now, but yeah, we're small, and we started off small, and we like the hands-on, handcrafted aspect. We also like the fact that being this small gives us the ability to kind of do what we want.
Right, with that flexibility of only having the capacity that you have, it means you're constantly coming up with new stuff, right?
Yeah, we got a crank on beers. We're constantly, pushing. Cassie's doing a great job, making sure we're doing beers every week, and but we love to have an eclectic and very wide menu for everyone. So we focus on a lot of different beer styles, not just one type.
And it's a lot of researching, going on Pro Brewer, looking at articles. I mean, I honestly still look at homebrew forums because there's a lot of information out there that homebrewers have done, and they have a lot of knowledge that sometimes pro brewers forget about. I'm still pretty active in my homebrew club, so I still bounce ideas off of some of them that have brewed certain styles a bunch.
This location has been open since
2018.
2018.
Yeah, we're 4.5 years in.
There are pictures of you, I'm assuming these are you on the wall, and is that you as a younger man doing some, it looks like home brewing? Or?
It is. Well, that day right there was when the name Bearded Owl was coined.
So you're hanging out in your flip-flops at some sort of home brew festival, it looks like.
Me and a buddy are just brewing at my house, and I was still getting into craft beer, and he was already brewing, and so we made a porter, and we called it Bearded Owl Porter. So that's kind of where the name started.
You always have 12 different beers at least, or 12 different beers?
12, and then whatever we have for cans or bottles.
So we can take it home if we want. Listen, when you're in Peoria visiting, you absolutely have to come to Bearded Owl. It's a great space, great people running the place, and incredible beer. And really, Nick, keep up the good work. Bearded Owl in Peoria.
Cheers.
Definitely visit. Cheers.